Okay. Welcome to the podcast, episode 1. If you're thinking about starting a podcast in 2025, this is what it's going to look like. I know there's a whole bunch of videos out there that tell you how to start podcasts. And if you look at their platforms, they've been telling you how to start a podcast for years. But they already have a podcast, and you know what it's about? Starting podcasts. Not this one. This is a real podcast. This is episode 1. We are hitting the ground running. I'm wearing a lav mic as well as my desk mic because I don't know what the audio is going to sound like because I don't know how to do a podcast. This is my first one. And let's go. Measured motion is not fast, not loud, just forward through effort, doubt, and the quiet middle of things. That's the name of the podcast. It's Measured Motion. It's the idea of starting something and taking just any little step forward, any movement, no matter how it's measured, whether it's inches, feet, years, days, weeks, hours, minutes, doesn't matter. Forward motion will get you where you're headed. This is weird because I got my show notes here, but they're the wrong show notes. But like I said, this is first episode podcast. This is what your podcast is going to look like when you first started. It's going to be bad. It's going to be clumsy. I don't plan on doing a whole lot of editing on this. I plan on just showing you what it looks like to come out of the gate. And you don't have a real plan. You just know you want to do a podcast. I've been wanting to do a podcast for years. And I watched all the podcast videos. I bought equipment. I bought microphones. I bought headphones. I bought sound panels, which I don't have any up here. This current setup, I have no lighting. It's a light coming in from the window here, which you can see casting onto the elephant in the room. We don't talk about that. And then I got 2 overhead LED recessed can lights. That's my lighting. Will I do better lighting later? I don't know. It's my first podcast. Apparently I'm supposed to have ring lights and practicals and a Himalayan salt lamp behind me that looks cool and all that, but I don't have that. I don't want that. I spent years doing studio tours and watching people's podcasts. And I was watching Theo Vaughn the other day. And he was on his 500th episode. Except because it's Theo Vaughn, I think he said it was really like his 486. Which makes perfect sense. And he was going through some clips of his earlier shows and how he had evolved through studio. And I think he was doing a reverse timeline. Because he ended up sitting in a car, like in the dark, by himself, with just the light from the phone as he recorded, and said he had to put up an episode, and he didn't really feel like it, but it had to be done, and he was in his car, and that was the only place he could record, so he did. And then he made his way all the way back to his first episode. And his first episode, he said he set up in his closet, no video, it was just audio, old school podcast. And he was in his closet, and he said he hung some blankets up to get sound acoustical material, and he tipped a suitcase over and set his recording device on it. I'm assuming it was maybe a phone or what. And he started recording. That was episode number 1. That's Theo Vaughn. That man interviewed the President of the United States. But he started in a closet with a suitcase. So starting, like all these startup podcasts, they'll tell you about gear, they'll tell you about lighting, they'll tell you about sound. And when they're done talking about all this stuff for 15, 20 minutes, they end with the same thing, which is you just have to start. If you don't start, you're never going to start. And if you don't do your first episode, you're not going to do your second episode. You're not going to do your third episode. You're not going to do any episodes. And you have to understand that it's going to suck. It really is. Like, I expect this to suck horribly. For one thing, I got the wrong notes. I sat down, hit record. I'm not stopping. I'm not editing. This is the first episode. This is what it looks like. This is your confidence builder right here. The knowledge that you're going to screw up. If you ever watch the History of the Eagles, Part 1, Glenn Fry is talking about one time when he was younger, before the Eagles, he was talking to Bob Seger, and he told Bob Seger he really wanted to write songs. And Bob Seger said, well, you just need to write songs. And Glenn Fry said, well, I'm afraid they're going to be bad. And Bob Seger said, they're going to be bad at first, but you have to start writing to get good songs. So anything you do, that first step, I mean, pick up a guitar and try and play a chord. Sounds like crap. Play that same chord for a month, it's going to be perfect. So that's what you're looking at. This setup's designed for a 2-camera thing. I don't know if I'm going to keep it this way. I don't know if it's going to look good. I don't know if we're going to get lighting. Like I said, the sun's coming up over here. It's going to come up further and further. It's going to shift the lighting on my devilishly handsome complexion. So right now, I'm going to attempt to pull up the original show notes and see if I can't get some sort of linear content. I mean, I already botched my introduction, so. Name of the channel is Measured Motion. Go. Oh, I got a split screen computer, which I'm not used to, so I keep opening the same thing. Keeps opening over here. Hey, episode 1, baby. Episode 1. Hold on. We're there. I found it. Bam. Episode 1. I don't think that's right. I think this is the one that I scrapped. But either way, so let's talk about what we're really doing. We'll do a studio tour. It's a corner of my shed office. It's a remote office. It's been built for years. You can't see it, but I got a Rocky poster back here. Dun-dun-dun. We don't talk about that, if you can see that. And basically that's it. What is the purpose of this podcast? I just want to rant and talk to people. I want to babble stuff off like Joe Rogan does when he has a guest, where he talks about that guest for a few minutes, but for the most part it's a conversation. I want to have a conversation about things that interest me and may or may not interest you. I already did the whole start, and I'm going to say that one more time. Just start. If you're looking to do a podcast, you're going to do better than this one. So let that be your benchmark. If you want to beat somebody at the podcast game, right here, beat this, and you'll get at least 10 more viewers than I do, or 10 more subscribers than I have, and I have 0 subscribers right now. So you can get 10 subscribers just by doing a better job than what I'm doing, and that's a low bar. Like I said, I plugged in and I started talking. They said it. They said it on the YouTube videos. Just start. So here I am, babbling, no content. I have all these papers here on my desk that were designed to guide me through this, but it's not my episode. I don't know what this is. It's something about being 55 and starting over. And you could be 25 or 40, and it doesn't matter. Just start. Nobody's starting over. It's the first episode. What are you talking about? And then there's my intro again. Measured motion. It's not fast, not loud, just forward. Through effort, doubt, and the quiet middle of things. It sounds so cinematic. I don't know the word I'm looking for. Here's something interesting. The difference between people who talk about starting something and the ones who actually do it is that they actually do it. That's pretty simple. That's kind of like the Jocko rules of how to get through life. How do I get up earlier? Get up earlier. How do I stop eating sugar? Stop eating sugar. He does that whole thing where, keep it simple, stupid. He's from the military. You want to do something? Do it. How do I start a podcast? Start a podcast. It's that easy. So, real quick, equipment. You got to start with what you have. They tell you, if you got an iPhone, you got a podcast. I have 2 iPhones because I upgraded one, but they let me keep the other. So I got camera 1 iPhone, camera 2 iPhone. I have this microphone. Hold on, we're going to make some weird noise and we're going to find out what kind of microphone it is. Whatever kind it is, it's a shy microphone because it doesn't want us to know what kind it is. Hold on, more weird noise. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Buy a microphone. Doesn't matter what it is. Don't get a cheap one. They sound like crap. And even the best microphone with no content will still sound like crap, which is what I got going on right here. I got no content. I had my whole thing planned out. Nothing. I got a mission statement on my YouTube channel. Mission statement. Measured motion. To move with clarity. To act with precision. To fuel with intent. To rise without noise and continue without permission. To build what stands. To shape what's next. To become what's already there. Refined, revealed, aligned. Velocity, not urgency. Focus, not force. Accomplishment measured in motion. ChatGPT wrote that for me. I'm not that creative, I promise you that. But cool thing about ChatGPT, the more you tell it that you want something to be a certain way, the more it'll keep doing it, and sooner or later it'll get the way you want it. Wonder if my hat banging against that's going to sound bad. See, that's the kind of things you got to learn. Do I need to be wearing this hat while I'm talking in this microphone? Theo Vaughn wears his backwards. I know this. Did I put mine backwards? No. I'm not Theo Vaughn. I don't have a mullet. It's not going to look good on me. I probably should just quit wearing the hat. Or quit wearing the headphones. Don't really need them. Don't care if I hear myself or not. Half of Joe Rogan's guests don't wear them. There's a couple people that podcast without them. Patrick Bet-David. One of the greatest inspirations ever. You want to hear something interesting, inspirational? Go watch Patrick Bet-David's early videos whenever he tells you how he got where he is, but he wasn't quite there yet. He was almost there, but he wasn't quite there yet. But he started with a vision. I'm going to do this, and I don't care how long it takes me. And speaking of how long it takes you, how long is it going to take you to get a podcast off the ground, running, and start getting viewers? Months. You're going to have to crank out episode after episode after episode, and each one's going to be a little bit better than the last one because you're going to start finding your rhythm. You're going to find something to talk about, whether it's how you make pastries on the weekends or how you mow the perfect yard. Whatever your niche is, someone out there wants to watch it. I watch videos of a guy cooking breakfast. He doesn't even talk. He just cooks breakfast. He put out 1 hour videos once a week. I watch him the whole hour. Guy's flipping eggs. Opa, whenever he does a good job. It's interesting to me. It allows me to watch that. I can watch it in the background. I don't miss nothing. If I walk out and walk back in, he's flipping pancakes. Walk back out, walk back in, he's scrambling eggs for an omelet. You can't miss anything. There's no plot. It's breakfast. Toast, eggs, hash browns, ding, onto the plate, and that's it. So whatever you're doing, someone's interested in it. It doesn't matter. But manage expectations, to quote the great Steve Jobs' assistant in the movie about Steve Jobs. Manage expectations. You're not an overnight sensation, and neither are any other overnight sensations. Musicians, 5-10 years in the trenches before they get found. Successful businesses, look at McDonald's. I mean, that business was going nowhere till Ray Kroc hijacked it and took it where it's going. So, yeah, it's going to take time. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to get the repetition up. I'm going to try and do an episode every Sunday. That's my goal. Whether I accomplish that or not, I don't know. But it's a goal. I'm recording one. I'm babbling. 100% babbling, rambling, talking about stuff I don't know anything about because I didn't bring my episode. My show prep is at an all-time low, which is sad because this is the first episode. So if it's at an all-time low, that means that it's a negative. It's in a negative velocity. This isn't measured motion. This is negative velocity. I mean, I guess you could measure negative velocity. You can measure a negative. It's an integer. I remember that much from algebra. Even a negative number is still a number, but we don't call them numbers. They're integers. 0 is an integer. And if you don't have a number, I don't know how this is possible. This is why I failed algebra. If you don't have a number, if you work your equation and it doesn't produce an answer, you get the empty set. No one addresses the fact that someone created a faulty equation and then asked you to solve it. And because you suck at algebra anyway, half the problems you solve you thought were the empty set because none of them made sense. It's unrealistic. Unrealistic. Like, who came up with algebra? And they say you're going to use it in everyday life. Like, I'm baking a cake and it needs 2 eggs. X equals eggs. C equals cake. How many eggs do I need? I don't need that. It's on the recipe. It says I need 2 eggs. I don't need algebra to figure that out. And if I if I do use any algebra unintentionally, it's going to be trying to figure out how many gallons of paint I need to paint a wall. But I'm not using algebra. I'm using Google. Hey, my room is 10 feet by 12 feet with an 8-foot ceiling. How much paint do I need to paint it? It's currently white. I want to paint it gray. Oh, you're going to need 3 gallons. Flip it back. It's currently gray. I want to paint it white. Better get 4. You're going to have to go over it twice. You know what I'm saying? That's algebra. Math nerds. Hey, post in the comments if you like algebra, my 0 viewers. So anyway, what do we got coming in the future? If you've tuned in this long and you've made it to the end of this episode, let me tell you what we got. I intend to, like I said, make some sort of podcast that interests me. And if it interests me, it's going to interest at least one other person on the planet. And if that person tells someone, maybe by mid-July, late July, I'll have 2 or 3 subscribers. And if you're watching this episode right now, it is been recorded on June 22nd, 2025. So my timeline to get 3 subscribers, setting that bar high, people, 3 subscribers, is end of July. Unless the world blows up, because yesterday there was some military action in the Middle East and whatever. It's not the topic of my channel, so I'm not getting into it. Go watch Devori Darkins if you want to see that kind of stuff, or Fox News or Sky News Australia. It's all over the place. So anyway, let me see if I got an outro in the wrong show notes. I do. Let's read this because this might reach somebody. Most of us are quietly waiting for a signal, something external, an invitation, but nobody's coming to give you permission. The setup won't be perfect, the time won't be right, the checklist won't be finished. You don't need a reset, you don't need a green light, you're the one holding it. Stop prepping your perfect future, show up for the imperfect present. This episode wasn't meant to tell you what to do, it was meant to prove it can be done. Quietly, clearly, from wherever you are. You don't need to announce it, you just need to do it. Start from here and go forward with measured motion. Thank you.